At 5:16 p.m. on November the 23rd, 1963 on BBC One, the first ever episode of a brand new science fiction TV show called Doctor Who was broadcast. Hello and welcome to Music and Stuff with me, Rob Lewis. And I know I usually do Doctor Who videos on Tuesday because it's Who's Day Tuesday, but today's a very special day. It's not a milestone birthday, but it's the 62nd anniversary of Doctor Who. And so as a special, I'm reviewing the very first story. Some call it An Unearthly Child, some call it 100,000 BC, some call it The Tribe of Gum. I'm going to go with An Unearthly Child. So, it was broadcast on BBC One on November the... Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. Yeah, because it's... Oh, we're going 4x3 as well. Okay. Oh well, normal service will be resumed, I'm sure. So, okay, we've gone 4x3 and black and white. Excellent. What was I saying? Yeah, 5:16 on Saturday afternoon, the 23rd of November 1963. Kind of overshadowed by the news that President John F. Kennedy had been assassinated in Dallas, Texas, the day before in America, but it was only just a few hours prior to that because of the time difference. So it was kind of overshadowed, but it was broadcast on BBC One to modest ratings, but they repeated the first episode the following week before the second part, and from then on it was just a success. So directed by Waris Hussain, produced by Verity Lambert. Of course, it was originally conceived by Sidney Newman. It starred William Hartnell as the first Doctor, although back then he was just called the Doctor or Doctor Who, with Carol Ann Ford as his granddaughter Susan Foreman, with Jacqueline Hill as Barbara Wright, and William Russell as Ian Chesterton. So they were the four initial cast, main cast. They were the TARDIS crew. So episode 1, An Unearthly Child, starts off, it's Susan at school. Well, it's the two teachers, history teacher Barbara and science teacher Ian, and they're discussing how Susan is a bit of a genius. She knows all of this stuff, almost as if it's beneath her, and they bit dodgy. They follow her home to the address that she gave the school, 76 Totters Lane. Yeah, and it's Foreman's scrapyard, but there's no house there. It's just a junkyard, and there's just a police box. And after much conversation, toing and froing, they meet Susan's grandfather, the Doctor, and they push their way into the TARDIS, and then, as you can imagine, they discover it's bigger on the inside. Please, say what you got to say. Hello, Holiday Rob here from Croatia. Just want to let you know, if you're enjoying this video, thanks very much for watching, but don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course the alarm notification bell so you know when my videos are coming out. And yeah, if you're interested, I've got social network stuff, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, not Twitter though. And I've also got a Patreon, so you can find me there. It's in the description. Links for everything's in the description. And yeah, I'm going to hand you back again, because otherwise Studio Rob gets frustrated. Thank you. So there you go. Bigger on the inside. And you know what happens next. They have a little bit of an argument about getting back, and the Doctor doesn't want to let them go. And then the Doctor shuts the door, locks them in, and they end up going backwards in time to 100,000 BC, and it fades out. That was the end of the first episode. You just kind of saw the TARDIS in the distance and this shadow of someone in the corner of the screen. And then the second week, what was it called? The Forest of the Dead? No, I can't remember what it was called. Something, Forest of Fear, something like that. But then they have Stone Age primitive caveman that can speak English, although broken English. Nothing's explained about the TARDIS and the translation at this point. That came much later. So the story, there's a lot of backwards and forwards. They get locked in a cave, then they get out, then they get put back in the cave, then they get out, and they get put back in the cave again. It's not the greatest story ever told, but the first episode, An Unearthly Child, is really, really great. It sets the scene, which they can, it sets up everything about the TARDIS, what it does, why it's named, how it is, which they completely contradict later on in the show's history. So a few things to say. The Doctor, or Doctor Who, as he was named then, or Dr. Foreman, as Ian calls him, he's a bit of a grumpy git. He's quite mean in these first stories. He definitely... Can you hear that? He definitely gets better with age, becomes a bit more pleasant, but in those first... Sorry, I had to go and switch that off. He gets better with age. In the first few stories, he is quite miserly and mean, and he was actually going to hit a caveman over the head with a rock. Not the Doctor that we know and love today. Still expertly played by William Hartnell, who played the Doctor fantastically, and all of the cast tremendous. Carol Ann Ford as technically the first companion, Susan Foreman, who has recently come back into the show, although that's very confusing and as yet unresolved. And the production, much different now. Videotape was very expensive, so they had very few opportunities to have retakes. If there was a mistake, it kind of stayed to a degree. It was recorded more like a play as opposed to the single camera stuff now, where you film your bits with the camera on you, then it's the camera on the other person in the scene, then it's on both of you, and then both of you going from different angles. Much different back then. You had multiple cameras, and it was you shot it like a play. So you had to know your markers, you had to know where you had to stand, all this kind of stuff. Very, very different. And you can see how that translates to the screen. On the whole, it's a good, strong story. It's followed by the Daleks, which is episode 5 to 12. Is that right? Or is it 5 to 10? I can't remember. 5 to 11. That's it, 5 to 11. There's a 7-part story called The Daleks, which originally was called The Mutants, or Planet of the Dead, or... No, don't Planet of the Dead. What was it called? Planet of the Mutants. I can't remember. Back then, every single episode, every part of the serial had its own title. It wasn't like now where you have... They're all single story episodes, or occasionally two-parters that still have their own titles. Every single one had its own title, and it ran very much like a serial. Even at the end of Unearthly Child, they go on another planet at the end of that episode, which is Skaro from the Daleks. but it's almost seamless. There's no like end and then you come back next week and they're in different clothes. This kind of thing. It's consecutive, which is good, but different. When do they sleep? When do they go to the toilet? Things we need to know. So there is some controversy over this. I need to get the names right here. The first story was written by Anthony Coburn and C. Webber. C. Webber only did episode 1. Anthony Coburn no longer with us. What he did do was leave everything to his son Steph, who has been a bit of a problem, and in October 2023 withdrew the show, that serial, because he owns the copyright, withdrew it from BBC iPlayer because he didn't like the direction that the new show was going in, too woke, with Ncuti Gatwa and Jinx Monsoon in the cast. And they say the left are triggered. So as a consequence, it's difficult to get hold of the first story. I've got it because I bought it on DVD a few years ago. I got the beginning box set that had Unearthly Child, the Daleks, and Edge of Destruction in them. So I had that. So luckily we were able to watch that. But not everyone can. So there's a lot of people that have never seen it that are missing out on this very first story, which is a shame, because even though it's not the greatest story, it's one that's definitely that people should see. You should be able to see the start of it, and because some snowflake, I can't even bother to go into it. So Steph Coburn, sort it out. It's not all about what you think. But yeah, it's definitely, if you can watch it, if you're ever in CX, other stores are available, or at a boot sale, whatever, any charity shop, and you happen to see a DVD of an Unearthly Child, or on eBay or whatever, get it, because you might not be able to get it elsewhere. Get it and make a copy of it in case anything happens to it. But I do really recommend you watch it. What else to say about it? Who did the music for it? Norman Kay. I don't know a lot about Norman Kay. And so I've listed the cast. We also had Derek Newark as Tsar, Alethea Charlton as Her, Eileen Way as Old Mother, Jeremy Young as Cal, and Howard Lang as Hawg. They were the cavemen. But yeah, it's very good. Definitely worth watching. So happy Doctor Who Day, happy anniversary. Oh, we're going back. Excellent. Colours coming back. We're going back to 16:9. Thank you. It's nice to be back to normal again. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one on Who's Day Tuesday. What's it going to be this week? I think it's... Oh, is it Series 5? I can't remember. I'm reviewing. It might be. I'll know by then. I'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you later, Bill and Ted.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.